Thanks for coming, Ed.
My pleasure. Never ends.
Hey, this is the limited series for August of 2015, and we are rocking and rolling today because Ed looked up the selection for 1975. You know, I like saying that because we're the only company that can say that. In fact, it won't be for another 14 years from 1975 that anybody starts another club that has any quality. That's still in existence, actually. That says a lot about our organization. Not about you necessarily.
No, not by me. Not since I was involved, but yeah, that's another story.
Yeah, that's another
that's
story.
not worth going into anymore.
So this guy. Anyway, so the wine was the Beaujolais, Gamay Beaujolais from Monterey Vineyards. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they used to, one thing I remember at Monterey, they had a whole bunch of varietals.
Well, God, did they have?
They had all these
They had
products.
tons of varietals.
Yeah,
You know.
I don't know why, but the wines were always very sound. And I featured, probably the last one I featured.
You know who else featured Gamay Beaujolais? Charles Shaw.
Oh, yeah, the original one.
The original Charles Shaw.
Right, yeah, the original one.
Which
That's right.
is now referred to unaffectionately as $2 Chuck.
$2.50 Chuck.
Now it's $2.50 Chuck. But and anyway, so there you have it.
I have to get that. I was complimented by my staff the other day because we have a new employee here who's been there a few months, and he says, you know, before I got here, I only drank Charles Shaw, and now you have educated my palate. So I go, that's cool. This rosé, Ed already bought 10 cases, probably the best we've ever had. We're you know, rosé still, California buyers still have a heart. East Coast love it.
Well, there's a lot of rosé being sold now. I mean, I was shocked to go into several stores and see banks of rosé on floor stacks.
Yeah, I saw it at Whole Foods. Yeah. This is the prettiest colored one I've seen. He was in the winemaker was in the warehouse. In the warehouse. He was here in the studio. I'll post that video as well. Very interesting guy. And here's the disappointing thing. When we were at Saint-Tropez, because this is very close to Saint-Tropez, 45 minutes, we were going to go and have a tasting with him last time, and I couldn't go because getting in and out of Saint-Tropez is like, it's brutal. And I'm like, I can't drive after tasting and drive this.
You mean it's like Westwood?
It's brutal. Anyway, great guy. He was here. We interviewed him. I'll post that up. And this is I'm really enjoying rosés now because you know what the problem is? Everybody thought they were white Zinfandels. Thanks to Sutter Home for 20 years, 30 years, you see it pink, you think it's white Zinfandel.
That's true, but it's not. It definitely is not white Zinfandel. And this is probably the best rosé I've ever had. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was just totally blown away. And everybody that tasted it went nuts. They just went absolutely crazy.
It's got depth, it's got dryness, it's got color, it's got everything.
It's and they take rosés very seriously in France and Italy too. By the way, there's some great rosés coming out of Italy that we don't think of that much as rosé country, but they're certainly very popular there too. Whereas this part of France, in the Provence and in Tavel, particularly in the Rhone, I think some of the greatest rosés in the world.
Okay, so now Ed says I'm gonna get in trouble because I use this as a red, but it's dry.
Well, I understand.
So if it was sweet and cloying, maybe, but it's not.
But it's also $24.99 on the shelf, and reorder is $16.99. And are you listening? Mm-hmm. I'm giving this 100 points. This is 100-point wine.
Holy!
Because this is the best rosé I've ever tasted, and I love rosés. I drink a lot of rosé,
Holy
especially in the summertime. In spite of the hell summertime that we've been having.
Well, I can't match that 100, because I like rosés, but I'll give it a 98.
It's really funny because I served this to some friends of mine. Some friends of mine came over to watch the All-Star game, and three guys, and all three of them brought rosés. Okay, and a red, but instead of a white, it was a rosé.
What? No, seriously, back the trial up. You drank rosé watching the All-Star game?
Well, for the first course.
What kind of American baseball character is that?
Okay, next time we'll drink Charles Shaw. I don't know. What do you want me to do?
What about Miller High Life?
No. Anyway, everybody went totally nuts over that rosé.
You had sous vide peanuts?
Oh, it's your wife. I can't talk to her right now.
I know she won't call you. Because she's calling you, she's telling you she's not paying your bill.
Next.
Now this was, I was so thrilled with this because a guy named Mark Huddlestone, who vends this wine, he's a great guy. I haven't seen him forever. He walks in 2 Tuesdays ago and says, hey, I got this wine, and here's the price. I said, are you kidding? So I'm so excited for this wine. 'Cause
Well,
good
I was
Cote
excited
d'Ivoire
just reading about the fact that we've got a Cote d'Ivoire.
Village, no less.
Yeah, village, which is a village that I'd never heard of before. And in the information that they gave me about it, they said, this is a relatively new area that just recently, it's not a new area, it was just recently granted the permission to be part of the village.
I don't know if you pronounce the N on that or not, but this was so expressive to me of Cote d'Ivoire, and you don't get a lot of them that are that expressive these days that I can feature in this club.
Mackerel. That is really
Isn't that
outstanding.
great? I mean, it's just got everything in it.
That is really
It's got that little bit of the game in the nose, a little animal, but not too much. It's got a little bit of that black fruit, blackberries. It's got it all in there.
That's delicious.
It's got a certain hardness about it that's is going to soften over time.
Wow, I'm all over that one. I'll tell you.
Boy, Ed is speechless.
That's really, I'd forgotten how good this was. I mean, I tasted it before, and and then I start writing about it, and then I forget about it. It's like because you do so many of them after a while, but then you remember.
Yeah, you do.
You just go, oh man, now I remember how good that wine was.
It's a very memorable sense when you smell and taste. So
Wow.
this is a 97 for me. Actually, I'm going to go up a notch. H. Mercer, that's the company he brings it in. And this guy travels to Europe, and this is what happens with the way our company works is that we have these agents, so to speak, that go travel when we can't travel, and they pick wines for us. And you won't be able to see this anywhere else.
Boy, $16.99 on the reorder price. Well, what a killer deal, man! I would not be complaining if I only paid $16.99 for a wine like that. That's really spectacular stuff, and I'm giving it a 97. I think
Tied.
it's spectacular. Now we go to the Blanc, the Vin Blanc.
Sauvignon
Vin Blanc.
Domaine La Coche. That's yours.
I'm getting there.
Well, I'm young. 2014.
Yeah, I know. And
Same guy. He
Van
bought
de
this in too.
Pay, which
Pay the Reets.
they used it. Van de Pay, which
Pay the Reets.
it sort of took over the Van de Table, which is basically table wine, which is the lowest designation in France, and it could come from anywhere as long as it came somewhere in the borders of France, and a few of them maybe not. But anyhow,
Here's why I bought this.
because it's good.
Well, first of all, it's Loire. So Sauvignon Blanc from Loire, so it's got its own character. But right before you get to the finish, there's this wonderful fruit impression, which I'm trying to figure out what it is. It's like guayaba.
Ooh, wow, it's almost grapefruit.
Yeah, but it's short of grapefruit. It's not that cloying. It's not
No,
that
it's not.
grapefruit you get from New Zealand.
No,
right?
it's not at all. But it's more like maybe grapefruit wine, and.
Ruby grapefruit.
Wow, it's really, really good. I
There's
love
another
the
fruit
acidity.
character. I think it's almost tropical right before the finish. I
Just
love it.
just a hair tropical, exactly. But that's what's so interesting about wine. I mean, I get people once in a while say, "Well, what else do they put in there that make it taste like that?" Well,
Yeah, that's the question.
It. Grapes. It's just
I
grapes.
get that question all the time.
I mean, and grape.
When you
obviously-
say it tastes like Fruit Loops, is there Fruit Loops in there? This is another 97 for me. I think this is
I think this
spectacular.
is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, and it's $24.99 on the shelf and $16.99 on the reorder price, and again, a killer bottle of wine.
And now for something completely different.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
Well, Ed said when he saw this Falanghina, which is another one of our indigenous Italian grapes that we don't see here, that they don't have much shelf life, and I agree with him. However, this one had so much body to it. And this is a 2013, so it's been in the bottle for a year and a half, and the color's got this cool gold to it, but it has so much mid-palate body that I just thought it was great.
Well, this is a very bizarre grape. I mean, it's only grown in Sicily, and they don't make very much of it. And I first got introduced to it, I would say about 7 or 8 years ago. I'd never heard of it before. And I just loved it. I mean, it just has, it has all Italian white grapes are so unique. I mean,
They're all different.
They're clean, they're crisp, they don't have a lot of oak or no oak whatsoever, but they taste different. And it's really amazing to find that many different varietals